Very welcome back. Now, our next guest has been delighting audiences for over 15 years, and now he's delighting the Ireland AM coach.
Yeah, from the Aviva Stadium to the High Rocks Arena, this man doesn't stop. Let's have a look at Paul Byrom in action.
This is the moment when all I've done, all of my dreaming, scheming and screaming become one. There is a ship and she sails the sea. She's loaded deep, as deep can be.
That was in our canteen this morning.
Unbelievable.
Wasn't it amazing? Paul Byrom is here, folks. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you very much. Lovely to be here.
And coming to the end of another busy year.
I know.
Was it March you were touring?
I'm just back from a tour in the States. So I did 40 cities there with Celtic Thunder in September and October. So I'm literally just back from that, and then I was out on my own in March.
Yeah.
So it's been a busy year, and then I got married in between that, and that was more grueling, the lead up to the wedding, than both tours combined.
Was that even more spreadsheets than you'd have for a tour?
Well, I don't look after numbers. I'm more of the razzle-dazzle. Catherine is the brains of the operation.
We were the same ourselves. We nearly called off the wedding doing the seating plan.
Yeah. Oh,
That's the toughest part of the whole thing.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Where are you putting the ante?
Yeah. Who wants to sit beside him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, there's people, and they're actually now having PTSD after
100%.
just the mention of seating plans.
Yeah. Oh, and we did it abroad as well, so there was all of that too.
Sure, it's lovely though.
It's easy to do it abroad. No, it's not.
No, it isn't.
It's not. I promise you.
And you got back with Celtic Thunder after 15 years.
Yeah.
On tour again. I mean, what was it like reuniting with the lads?
Do you know, it was real nerve-wracking leading up to it, because I suppose it had been so long since I'd worked with the guys and with the company, and I'd been the tour base or the fan base that they have and everything. I was like, are people even going to remember me? Now, you look at me when I was back then, I was clean shaven with highlights in the hair, and now I'm just like, well, highlights in the beard.
Like a fine wine.
So it's kind of like, are they even going to recognise me? You know, that kind of reunion thing. They're like, oh my God, your man looks awful. So it was a bit nerve-wracking, but it went down great, and it was a lot of fun. And the guys are just the loveliest of lads, like, you know, and the production team are fantastic. So it was great crack, it really was. And we're all kind of similar-minded lads, like we're into football and we like working out and pretty kind of focused on our careers. And so, you know, when everybody's singing off the same hymn sheet, it makes it a lot easier, you know. But we got to do 40 cities, and a great way to see America.
40 cities in 2 months.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
It was a lot. It was like 6 shows on, day off. 6 shows on, day off. That kind of vibe, you know. So but in a way, that's the way you want it, you know, because the days off are the days where it's dragging and you're missing home and you're missing the dog and you're missing your wife and you're all that kind of stuff. So, or wife and the dog.
In that order.
Yeah.
And so
leaving you last because you were the most.
Indeed, yeah. And we had that discussion the other night.
Yeah.
If there was a fire, which one would you save? It got very touchy.
Mm-hmm.
But so the tour was good, and it was enjoyable, and now I'm kind of back into normality, and you're kind of already planning for March's tour, you know, which is crazy. And then the Christmas gigs and all of that. So it's kind of one year just rolls into another, you know. I think one of your researchers is like, well, what's next year? It's like, I have no idea. You know, I can tell you what's going to happen to March.
Yeah.
And then, like yourselves, like anything can come in, and a gig can come in the door, and you're like, oh yeah, let's do that. You know?
You've been doing it now this long time. Do you feel like the music industry as a whole has changed much in comparison to when you first started out?
Aye, God, yeah. Like it's changed an awful. Like back in my early days, I released my first album when I was 14, and so like back then it was about selling the units, get the units, sell them, empty the mother's shed, you know, and. Now you're expected to make the same quality albums with big orchestrations and everything else, especially as an independent artist, but people aren't buying albums. Mm-hmm. They're listening to it for free on Spotify. I mean, I do it myself, so I'm not necessarily giving out about that. But it is harder to make money from being just a recording artist. So you have to be on the road. Mm-hmm. You have to be out on tour all the time. And now more than ever before, it's harder to sell tickets. because there's so many people on the road.
Yeah.
So it's a challenging industry for sure, and you've got to constantly think outside the box. Through COVID, there was the whole people watching online performances and paying for online performances, and that opened a whole other world for performers, which is great. So, as I said, you're constantly trying to think of ways to get the money in the door.
Do you think it's easier now to be discovered as an artist, though, with the likes of TikTok and Instagram? Have you started on that? Are you pushing content out?
Not like you now, Eric. I look at you and I say, Mother of God, he's got some great energy on that thing. There's days where I'm like, let's do something on Instagram. Yeah. And then about 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh, it's exhausting.
It's a job in itself.
It is, for sure. But no, you do. You get a wider audience now. So like for all the giving out about the free streaming and the free listening on Spotify, I'm getting orders in for CDs and merchandise from parts of the world that I would never have expected to if I had just been depending on the likes of Golden Discs to sell CDs. Yeah. So I get orders in from Sweden and from Italy and, all these different places. So it does give you a wider reach, so to speak. But you'd need to almost have a degree in social media and marketing.
Talk to this man.
It's challenging.
No, but it is a full-time job. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But look, I remember chatting to you during COVID because you were releasing an album, and we all thought that's a brave thing to do because
you were all when I left the studio going, idiot.
Oh, you heard that, did you?
Yeah, we heard.
No. Why didn't you switch off the speakers? But it was a brave thing to do. But it worked for you.
It worked for me, because I think when you've got no other competition, you look great. But at that time, it was my biggest album in years. I'd spent like close to 50 grand on a 66-piece orchestra. Gavin Murphy was the producer. We were very excited about the album. Then all of a sudden the world shut down. So we had to use an orchestra in Prague, and we recorded it, got the album done. And then I was like, do we hold on to it or do we wait or do we promote? And thankfully the likes of yourselves here up in Virgin are supportive, always have been very supportive. So you were kind of able to tap into that. But getting the album out was great because people everybody was on screen, everybody was looking for new material, everybody was looking for new music. So I was able to kind of tap into that, but then you couldn't promote it and you couldn't gig it. You normally release a big album, you go in and do a huge show and showcase it, so to speak, or go out on the road with it. You couldn't do that. So it was a really challenging time for artists. And there's artists and people that were in the industry, people that, that aren't on the stage, people that are in the sound and lighting business or all of that other world that have fallen away from the game since. They couldn't keep themselves afloat. So, I was asked recently, how do you measure success? Is it by, is it by your accounts? Is it by the album sold? I measure success by just still being here, because the industry is so challenging now that young people going into it nowadays, I don't think they realise how challenging it is, and you really need to want it. Mm-hmm. I remember somebody saying to me before, you need to have a plan B. When I was starting out as a young lad, make sure you get a degree so you have a plan B. I'd agree with that. However, I'd also say if I had a plan B, I probably would have dropped out by now. Do you know what I mean? So I think because you want it so much and it's all you're good at, you just keep going. Yeah. So as you said at the top of the interview, you're back again another year. I'm like, yeah, thank God.
One way that you can definitely measure success, you're a huge sports fan, as is your wife, Catherine. You had the honour of performing Ireland's Call at the Aviva. Yeah. I mean, that must have been a really special moment in your career.
Yeah, I was actually, so I've done it a few times, thank God, and I've done it, I do anthems quite a bit, and it is, because I'm a huge sports fan, it is one of the pluses of the gig. But in March, or February, I can't remember now, Ireland were playing England, and I got asked to do the anthems, and I said, yeah, that'd be great. Jeez, that's amazing. And Ireland, England, like you couldn't get the bigger game. And they're like, but you have to do the English one as well. And like my family, Catherine's family are all Belfast, Catholics from Belfast. So I was like, how do I break this to my father-in-law? So there I am singing God Save the King on the pitch. And you just see him going, what is my daughter marrying?
Oh, God.
But it was such a highlight. It was brilliant. The atmosphere that day in the stadium was great. And after the anthems were done, I just grabbed the mic and started singing Fields of Athenry to get people going. It was a bit of an impromptu thing. And it was great crack. So,
wish we had you there last night. Let us go on a bit more.
I was actually there last night.
We should have got you, Mike.
Did you have a pair of boots? Because they only had 12 men on the pitch. They could have done with it.
I know.
They could have done.
Come here, before I go, Christmas, I've got 2 gigs coming up.
Yes, tell us about it.
Kilkenny, I'm down in Kells on the 6th of December. I have to promote, sorry folks.
Promote away.
December 13th is my annual Dublin gig.
Yeah.
It sells out every year, thanks be to God. But what happens is, like typical Irish, a week or so before, people are like, I haven't got tickets, Paul. I'm like, well, it's sold out. It's been on sale. It's on sale now. I've got Alison Vard Miller as my special guest. I've got a lovely little choir. I've got a band. All the Christmas cheesy classics.
And they're not so cheesy ones. They'll all be there.
Yeah, they're all there. Everything and anything. And it's a bit of crack, and it's an annual thing, and it'll get you into the festive spirits, and it's very light-hearted, and there's nothing too serious.
That's just what we need.
That's just what you need.
Well, I kind of, especially with the way Liverpool are playing at the moment.
I didn't want to bring it up.
I know, Mark.
I didn't want to bring it up.
I'll give you credit.
I'll just leave it there. But now that you have...
It's terribly depressing times for us. The grey and the beard is purely...
Wasn't there last night.
Stop.
No,
wasn't there last night.
That's why I've clean shaven this week.
Yeah, it's horrific times.
Mr. Paul Byrom, thank you very much for joining us.
Pleasure.
And you can get